You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. Get addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey everybody, come on in. Welcome back to the Hood Table, to all my hoodies, all my supporters, subscribers, friends, family, loved ones. Please come on in and please make sure you hit that like button on your way in, and also make sure you share the video if you have the opportunity or have a way to share it. And also, if you're not subscribed to the Hood Table already, please feel free to subscribe to the Hood Table. Thank you so very much. Today we're going to be reviewing the Housewives of Atlanta, and it's season 13, episode 9. And as you can tell from the bottom of the screen, the title of the show is The Hostess with the Least-est. And of course, we all know who they were referring to. And that is an appropriate title for the show. But yeah, let's jump right into it. As usual, you guys, you already know. Follow us on IG, Facebook, Twitter, Stereo, and also if you have anything to say about the six storylines or any of the scenes, characters, anything like that, feel free to put it in the comments section underneath the video. And at the beginning of this episode, now we kind of started back off, with Marlo and Kenya. At the beginning of this episode, they were still going at it strong. And from Portia's perspective, and I do agree, Marlo is she seems like she's like desperately yearning for a friendship with Kenya. But as aggressive as Kenya was being, these two may never have a genuine friendship. And regardless of how much Marlo just keeps, waving his white flag, I surrender, I give up, can we just get along? Kenya was not trying to be receptive at all, to Marlo's apology. So like Cynthia said, please, you guys, can you just at least agree to disagree? Can you just be civil? Can you just be respectful? At least for this trip, for this one trip, which is already, started negatively, from the gate, with the jet and bringing her daughter, Brooklyn, with Kenya and everything. So they're trying to make the best of the trip. So can y'all at least, be civil, But anyway, it's really getting kind of old, and I think the other ladies is getting kind of sick and tired of it too. It's just getting kind of old. It's just let it go, kind of just like some of these beefs on these YouTube streets in the beef section. I'm like, y'all be arguing about the same old shit day after day after day after day. Oh my god, it gets so boring and draining sometimes. But anywho. Portia, she, trying to break up the tension in the room. She suggest, I can't even talk. She suggests a game of Never Have I Ever, and I love playing that game with my homegirls and my friends and stuff. But she played it when she was in jail, during the protest when she had got arrested. And everybody was up to it, except Kenya. Now, Kenya had went up to her room, to be with her daughter, Brooklyn. But she did tell them at first, she was the first one who said, I really just think we should all go upstairs and go to bed. But then when Portia suggested the game, she even said, yeah, she'll play. So they kind of expected her to play. But then Candy, found her upstairs and realized she wasn't coming back downstairs. So being that Kenya had already told them she wanted to go to bed, why was it so hard for Candy and the others to believe that Kenya would stay upstairs instead of leaving her daughter, with the nanny? But I mean, I get it. Because ain't that why she brought the nanny along in the first place? So ditching them was just kind of like another diss to the ladies, so it seems. And as far as the nanny, like the nanny, if all the other ladies would have known, they could have brought their children. They could have brought a nanny. If they had known previously about Kenya's plans. And so I agree with Portia. When she was saying, Kenya, you are supposed to be the host, and you have a whole nanny. So host, damn it, and let the nanny. Like everybody else's children are at home and away from their mothers. So it's completely wrong. And because of that, Portia, she didn't even want to play, on the bus, on the trip there. She didn't even want to stay. She was like, man, I just want to turn around and go back home. And now Portia doesn't even want to play the game. And then Candy, she was breaking down, crying, for missing her little daughter. And, Kenya, yeah, you just really being selfish, really, really being selfish and questionable. And as far as Cynthia, what the girl? Why was you packing up all that pig carcass for your fiance? Like Portia was like, this is so auntie. Like what you're doing now is so auntie-ish because some of them deem themselves the aunties and the others as the nieces. And I'm like, no, Portia, I'm a whole auntie and soon to be grandmama, and I ain't bringing no Ziploc bag full of no pig meat home to my man from a vacation trip. And I'm like, Cynthia, what is you doing with all that meat? Like, she was packing so much meat in those Ziploc bags. I was like, beginning to wonder, are you planning on freezing that shit and serving it at your wedding, girl? I mean, I know times is hard right now because, the CBD-19 and all that kind of stuff, but damn. Anyway. The next morning, Portia, she was anxiously awaiting, like the rest of the world, at that time, if charges would be handed out to any of the six officers, in the Breonna Taylor murder case. And of course, as we already know, the grand jury came back with a charge for only one of the officers. Wanton endangerment was the only charge. And just like the first time we heard it, it was a slap in the face to black people all over, but especially in America. And it is still very, so very devastating. Portia, of course, she was overcome with emotions and mood of tears, especially due to the fact that she, so along with many others, have protested for months on end. Me, I was protesting here in Omaha, Nebraska for her, George Floyd, and a lot of others, including like people here, who had died, in our own city. But they had protests for months on end to bring justice for Breonna Taylor. So yeah, again, it was like a big slap to the face seeing that, replay it all over again. But while the grand jury's decision was much bigger than what the ladies were experiencing with Kenya, it certainly didn't help the atmosphere at all. It kind of just brought the mood down a whole lot more to see that play out on television. But as you know, Kenya, she has done, or, she did make a lot of questionable decisions on this trip. But one thing she did get right was putting Candy Girl in charge of planning a dungeon style bachelorette party for Cynthia. And knowing how Candy gets down, I cannot wait to see it all go down. Because we know Candy be pulling out all the tricks, the whistles, and the bells. She done stopped by the bank and got a $4,001 bill. $4,001. That's a lot of ones, y'all. That's a lot of ones. And she brought the glass box for the ladies. She even had her assistant, Don Juan, send up Bolo, the stripper from Candy's other dungeon parties. And she also went as far as bringing outfits for the ladies, kinky, seductive costumes for the sex dungeon style party. So, yeah, I cannot wait to see the ladies make it rain up there for Bolo and for Cynthia. And I can't wait to see how Cynthia reacts to it all. But as far as Candy, after Candy filled the ladies in on her plans, she pulled Kenya to the side. She put her to the side. Hey, sis, can we talk? We need to have a little sidebar, a little conversation. And from that conversation, I was feeling like Kenya did not plan this trip out of the kindness of her heart, for the ladies. I got that from how Kenya keeps deflecting and getting really defensive. When they point out everything done to them that Kenya would have never put up with, and we know that to be true. Kenya would have had a whole fit up in that doggone house and then probably would have left. Okay? But in all honesty, y'all, I think Kenya just needed a vacation, and for the sake of the show, since the ladies, have to usually be together, she just kind of like invited them to tag along. Kenya never really had any real intentions of hosting or being a host or catering to any of their needs. But after speaking with Candy, or should I say after Candy basically told Kenya that last night was the last straw, that was the final straw, that, yeah, so Kenya, she did end up apologizing to the ladies. And on day 3, the ladies, they got all dialed up, to go to a restaurant. Yeah, this time Kenya, she didn't be so inconsiderate, by just ordering food for her from a nearby restaurant. Everybody got dressed up and, got on that bus and, went to a restaurant. And while there, Drew was still feeling some type of way about all the ups and downs they've been experiencing on the trip. And Kenya again was being very defensive. Like, why is it that every single time somebody sits down with her to have like a civil, mature adult conversation, she feels attacked? And did she really say that she thinks the ladies are just shameful for questioning her actions or her motives? I was like, girl, stop. Stop. Kenya was really, making an attempt to get the ladies to understand how, she's just trying to, work out some things in her life or whatnot. And I was just like, well, if your damn life is that much of a mess, maybe you should have stayed your ass home. Okay. And not offer to cater to and be a host to this vacation. Maybe you should have just stayed home. Go get some counseling. You know what I'm saying? But Kenya, she seriously doesn't understand why the ladies feel the way they do, as if her daughter is so much more important than any of the others' children. She had the nerve to tell them that she didn't have to give them the option of bringing their children. Like, why the hell did you feel like you didn't have to give them the option? You ain't the only one with money, honey. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Candy has more money than all of you ladies on the show. So how do you know, like I said before, how does she know that the ladies might not have pitched in and, got a jet or, a more, a quicker way or a more comfortable way to travel instead of the 8-9 hours in that bus that didn't have a bathroom. So how does she know they wouldn't want to have hired a nanny and brought, the kids, with them or whatnot? But anywho, she tells them that if they want her to have a sisterhood with them so bad, then they need to be her village. Now, was it their fault that Kenya chose to get into a marriage that didn't seem legit from day one? Then to have a baby with a man who never had intentions of living in the same state as her? I was just like, when the hell are they going to get to this bachelorette party? Because I'm so over this damn girl. I'm so over her attitude. I'm so over her half-ass and backhanded apologies and her deflection and all this kind of stuff and taking out whatever is going on in her own personal life with her husband and, divorce and all that kind of stuff. Like, girl, you should have stayed home. And again, like I said, get some doggone counseling, get some therapy, go to family therapy, family counseling, or I don't know, something like that. But anywho, y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole thing about Kenya and this hosting of this trip. And it just sucks. It just sucks. They're in such a beautiful place. I really hope that with this bachelorette party that the ladies will attempt to try to come together and maybe put some of their differences to the side, some of their feelings to the side, and I don't know, maybe fix some things, write some things that they done wrong to each other. So that's what I hope. But anyway, y'all let me know y'all ideas or your opinions of the shows or the different characters and storylines, and make sure you put it in the comment section down below. And again, like the video, share the video, make sure you subscribe to the Hood Table as well if you're not already subscribed, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, Stereo. And on that note, stay safe, be blessed, Always remain vigilant and don't forget to keep it hood. Bye.